Welcome to the Explainer. You know, the world of AI is moving at an absolutely incredible speed. And its vocabulary? Well, that's moving even faster. If it feels like you're trying to learn a whole new language overnight, you're not wrong. But don't worry, we're going to fix that right now. So, if you've ever heard terms like Gen AI, or agentic AI, or even mixture of experts, and felt your head start to spin a little bit, you're definitely not alone. This jargon is absolutely everywhere. But look, understanding it is really the key to getting what's actually going on in this tech revolution. And that's our whole mission for this explainer. We're going to decode 12 of the most important AI terms you need to know, right now. No fluff, just the straight goods. Okay, you ready? Let's dive in. So, let's start with the AI that you can actually see and touch, so to speak. The kinds that are actively making stuff and getting tasks done for us. First up is the big one, Generative AI, or Gen AI. You might also see it called aigc, which just stands for AI-generated content. This is any AI that doesn't just analyze data that's already there, but actually creates something brand new and original. We're talking text, images, music, even something as complex as protein sequences for discovering new drugs. It's a creator. But here's where things get really interesting. If generative AI is like a brilliant artist who responds to a single command, write me a poem, then agentic AI is like a proactive project manager. You give it a big, complicated goal like plan my entire vacation to Tokyo, and it just figures out all the little steps and executes them on its own. So how on earth does an AI agent pull that off? Well, it uses this really powerful four-step loop. First, it perceives what's going on by gathering all the data it needs. Then it reasons, using a language model to come up with a smart plan. Next, it actually acts on that plan. And this is the crucial part. It learns from what happened, which creates this constant feedback loop so it gets better and better. Okay, so we've seen what these AI systems can do. Now, let's pop the hood and go a little deeper to see how they actually think. This is where the magic really happens. One of the core concepts here is something called unsupervised learning. Okay? Imagine you dump a giant, messy folder of animal photos in front of a computer with zero labels, no help. With unsupervised learning, the AI starts sorting them all by itself. It just figures out, hey, these all look like cows, and these are definitely elephants, all by finding these hidden patterns. It's basically learning without a teacher. But what about keeping AI from giving you stale, outdated answers? That's where RAG comes in. It stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation. Before it gives you an answer, it does a quick search for the absolute latest information out there. The best analogy is that it's like giving the AI an open book exam. It forces every answer to be grounded in current, verifiable facts. Super important. And how do you make these gigantic models run more efficiently? Well, with a mixture of experts, or MOE. Now, instead of one single massive AI brain trying to do everything, MOE works like a team of specialists. There's a gating network that acts like a manager, and it routes your question only to the experts that are best suited to answer it. This saves an incredible amount of computing power. It's just smarter. All right, we've talked about the software, the smart techniques, but what's the actual engine that drives all of this? Let's talk about the hardware, the power. When you hear the phrase AI computing power, I want you to just think of it as the raw electricity for AI. It's the hardware, the chips, the servers, the whole infrastructure that really sets the speed limit for how big, how fast, and how capable a model can ultimately be. I mean, without it, the best algorithm in the world is just a bunch of code sitting on a screen. And for AI, not all chips are created equal. You've got your standard CPU, which is kind of the generalist for everyday stuff. Then there's the GPU, which is the absolute workhorse. It's essential for training these huge models. And now the NPU is showing up everywhere. That's a neural processing unit, and it's a super specialized chip designed to run AI tasks efficiently right there on your phone or your laptop. So, how do we even measure all this power? You're going to hear two key terms, TOPS and FLOPS. Here's the simplest way to remember the difference. FLOPS are for learning. They measure the really high-precision math you need to train an AI for accuracy. TOPS are for doing. They measure the super-fast operations needed to actually run the AI efficiently. Training versus doing. So we've got the AI, we've got the power to run it. What's the last piece of this puzzle? Well, it's us.
How do we, as humans, actually direct and collaborate with these incredibly powerful systems?
To manage complex tasks, especially when you're working with a team, we lean on workflows and SOPs. A workflow is just a series of repeatable steps to get something done. Now, when you formally write that workflow down to make sure everyone does it the exact same way for quality and consistency, that becomes a standard operating procedure, or SOP. This is how we make AI's power reliable and scalable in the real world.
And check this out. When it comes to actually telling an AI what we want, two totally different styles are emerging. On the one hand, you've got the classic command line interface, the CLI. This is that old-school, text-based way for technical folks who want total, precise control. But on the other hand, you have something called vibe coding. This is where you just describe your goal in plain English, and the AI translates your vibe into actual working code.
I mean, this quote from computer scientist Andrej Karpathy just nails it. It's this idea of giving in to the vibes and forgetting the code even exists. You're focusing on your intention, your creative idea, and you're letting the AI worry about all the syntax. It's a massive, massive shift in how we think about creating things.
So there it is, a whirlwind tour, but now you've got it. From the AI that creates and acts, to how it learns and reasons, to the raw power that fuels it, and finally, to how we humans sync up with it. You're now officially equipped with the toolkit to decode pretty much any AI conversation.
And that brings us to a final, pretty big question to chew on. As AI gets more and more powerful and easier for us to command with just our words, our vibes, what's the most valuable human skill going to be? What's our unique contribution? Something to think about. Thanks for watching The Explainer.